I never meant to be the guy who burns his life down for a stranger. My name's Daniel, and this is my confession, raw and unfiltered, laid bare under the cold light of truth. If you're here, you're curious. Maybe you've felt the pull of something forbidden too. This isn't a story of heroes or happy endings. It's about desire, the kind that claws at your soul and leaves scars you can't hide. Stick around because once you hear this, you won't look away. It's a tale of neon lust and the price I paid. It was a late summer night in Chicago, the city alive with heat and secrets. I was married to Laura, a woman whose smile could light up a room, but lately her light had dimmed. Work bills, the grind, it sucked the life out of us. I was at a dive bar on the edge of town, the kind with flickering neon signs and a jukebox playing songs nobody remembers. That's where I saw her, Lena. She wasn't just beautiful, she was a storm, all curves and confidence, her red dress clinging to her like a second skin. I wasn't looking for trouble. I was there for a drink, maybe two, to drown the monotony. But Lena had other plans. She slid onto the bar stool next to me, her perfume, jasmine, and sin hitting me like a punch. "You look like you're running from something," she said, her voice low, smoky, like she knew me better than I knew myself. I laughed, tried to play it cool, but my pulse was already racing. Her eyes, green and sharp, held mine, daring me to look away. I didn't. The bar was dim, the neon casting a red glow across her face, making her lips look like they were made for trouble. My wedding ring burned against my finger, a reminder I ignored. We talked small things at first, the weather, the city, but every word was a step closer to the edge. Her laugh was a spark, her touch on my arm a flame. I told myself I'd leave, go home to Laura, be the man I promised to be. But when her knee brushed mine, I stayed. "You're married," she said, glancing at my ring, her tone more curious than judgmental. I nodded, words stuck in my throat. "Does she make you feel alive?" she asked, leaning closer, her breath warm against my cheek. The question hit hard, peeling back years of routine of quiet dinners and unspoken resentments. I didn't answer, but my silence was enough. Her smile was slow, dangerous, like she'd found a crack in my armor and was ready to pry it open. The jukebox switched to a slow, sultry tune, and she stood holding out her hand. "Dance with me," she said, not a question but a command. I should have said no. I should have walked away. But I took her hand, her skin warm, electric, and let her lead me to the small, crowded dance floor. Her body pressed against mine, the red dress soft under my hands, her hips swaying in time with the music. The neon lights pulsed red and blue, wrapping us in a haze of heat and want. Her lips were close now, too close, whispering words I barely heard over the pounding in my chest. My hand slid lower, tracing the curve of her waist, and she didn't pull away. The world shrank to just us, the music, the neon glow. I knew it was wrong, knew Laura was waiting at home, but Lena's touch was a drug and I was already addicted. The dance floor was a trap and I was caught. Lena's body moved against mine, every sway a temptation I couldn't resist. Her hands rested on my shoulders, fingers grazing the back of my neck, sending shivers down my spine. The neon lights flickered, casting shadows that danced like ghosts around us. My ring felt heavier, a shackle I wanted to forget. Her lips brushed my ear, her voice a whisper over the music. "You're not leaving, are you?" she said, and it wasn't a question. I didn't answer, just pulled her closer, my hands tightening on her hips. The bar faded, the crowd a blur. It was just her, me, and the heat between us. Her dress clung to her, the fabric thin enough to feel the warmth of her skin beneath. I was drowning and I didn't care. Every touch was a spark, every glance a fire. I told myself it was just a dance, just a moment, but my body had other plans. Her eyes locked on mine, green and unyielding, stripping away every lie I'd told myself. We left the bar, the night air cool against my fevered skin. She didn't ask where we were going, just followed me to my car, her heels clicking on the pavement like a countdown. The motel down the street was cheap, its neon sign buzzing vacancy in pink and blue. I paid in cash, my hands shaking, avoiding the clerk's eyes. Lena waited by the door, her silhouette framed by the neon glow, a vision I couldn't shake. Inside the room, the air was thick, stale, but it didn't matter. She stood by the window, the neon light painting her in shades of sin. Her dress slipped to the floor, pooling like blood, revealing curves that made my breath catch. I stepped closer, my hands finding her waist, her skin soft and warm. "Daniel," she murmured my name, a spell pulling me deeper. My shirt was gone, discarded in the haze, and her hands roamed my chest, nails grazing just enough to sting. The bed creaked under our weight, the sheets rough against my back. Her lips were on mine now, hungry, demanding tasting of whiskey and desire. My hands traced her body, memorizing every curve, every shudder. The neon light spilled through the blinds, slashing across us, turning our sin into something almost holy. But it wasn't. It was raw, desperate, a collision of need and guilt. I wanted to stop, to think of Laura, but Lena's touch erased her. My hand slid up her thighs, her breath hitching her body, arching into mine. Every kiss was a betrayal, every touch a vow broken. The guilt was there, sharp and cold, but it only fueled the fire. I was lost in her, in the heat, the rhythm of our bodies, the way she whispered my name like a prayer. When it happened, it was like a storm breaking, fierce and overwhelming. Her nails dug into my shoulders, her gasps filling the room, mingling with mine. The pleasure was sharp-edged with pain, with the knowledge that this was wrong, so wrong. But I didn't care. Not then. The neon light watched cold and unyielding as we crossed a line I could never uncross. Afterward, we lay there, the motel room silent except for the hum of the neon sign outside. Lena's head rested on my chest, her hair spilling across my skin like ink. The guilt hit hard now, a fist in my gut. I stared at the ceiling, the cracks mocking me, reminding me of the life I'd just shattered. Her hand traced lazy circles on my arm, but her touch felt different now, heavy with consequences. I wanted to hold her, to keep this moment forever, but it was already slipping away. I sat up, running a hand through my hair, trying to find the man I used to be. "This can't happen again," I said, my voice rough, unconvincing. Lena didn't move, just watched me, her eyes unreadable in the dim light. "You don't mean that," she said, her voice soft but certain. She was right, and I hated her for it. I hated myself more. Laura's face flashed in my mind, her smile, her trust, and it was like a knife twisting in my chest. I stood, grabbing my clothes, the neon light casting jagged shadows across the room. Lena didn't try to stop me. She just lay there, her body a silhouette against the sheets, beautiful and dangerous. I wanted to go to her, to lose myself again, but I forced myself to the door. The night air hit me like a slap, the neon sign buzzing louder now, a witness to my shame. Days passed, but Lena was everywhere. In the smell of jasmine on a stranger's coat, in the flicker of a neon sign downtown. Laura didn't suspect, or maybe she did, and chose silence. Her touch felt foreign now, her kisses hollow. I was living a lie, and every smile I gave her was a betrayal. Work became my escape, but even there Lena found me. A text, a glance, a brush of her hand in the hallway. She worked in the same building, a cruel twist of fate. One night, Laura planned a dinner, just the two of us. A chance to reconnect, she said. I sat across from her, the candlelight soft on her face, and felt like a stranger in my own home. My phone buzzed, Lena's name flashing on the screen. I ignored it, but my hands shook, my mind racing with memories of her touch, her lips. Laura reached for my hand, her fingers warm, trusting. "I love you," she said, and the words were a weight I couldn't carry. I saw Lena again against my better judgment. A late-night meeting in a dark alley behind the bar, the neon glow painting her in shades of temptation. She didn't speak, just kissed me, her hands pulling me into the shadows. It was quick, desperate, a stolen moment that left me hollow. Each time I swore it was the last, but her pull was too strong, her touch too addictive. The affair became a secret life, a dance of stolen moments and lies. A motel room here, a parked car there, always under the cover of night, the neon lights our only witnesses. Each time I told myself I'd stop, go back to Laura, fix what I'd broken. But Lena's touch was a fire I couldn't put out. Her whispers, her body, the way she made me feel alive, it was a drug and I was hooked. Laura started to notice. Small things at first, a question about where I'd been, a frown when I came home late. Her eyes searched mine, looking for the man she married. I wanted to confess, to beg for forgiveness, but the word wouldn't come. Instead, I kissed her, held her, tried to pretend I was still hers. But my hands remembered Lena, my lips tasted her, and the guilt was a poison spreading through me. One night, Lena pushed too far. "Leave her," she said, her voice sharp, her eyes burning. We were in another motel, the neon sign buzzing outside, casting its red glow across her face. I froze, my heart pounding. Leave Laura, burn my life to the ground for a woman I barely knew. The idea was madness, but for a moment, I saw it, a life with Lena, free of guilt, free of lies. Then reality crashed in. Laura's face, her trust, the home we'd built. "I couldn't do it, I can't," I said, stepping back, my voice breaking. Lena's face hardened, her eyes cold now, like I'd betrayed her instead. "You'll regret this," she said, her words a knife. She left the door, slamming, the neon light flickering as if mocking me. I stood there alone, the weight of my choices crushing me. I went home to Laura, determined to fix things. I held her tighter, spoke softer, tried to be the man she deserved. But Lena's shadow lingered in every quiet moment, every sleepless night. I saw her one last time by chance at the bar where it all began. She was with someone else, her laugh cutting through me like glass. She didn't look my way, but I felt her, the pull still there even now. This is my story, raw and ugly, a warning to anyone who thinks they can play with fire and not get burned. If you've watched this far, you know that pull, that ache for something you shouldn't want. So hit that subscribe button, drop a comment, call me a fool, a sinner, whatever feels right. Like the video, or don't, but share it with someone who needs to hear it. Check out my other stories, they're just as dark, just as real. Stick around because we've all got secrets, don't we?